Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the GeForce GTX 1080 Ti in Hogwarts Legacy. This is the GPU from the recommended requirement, so it's going to be interesting to check it out here. And it is also the Gigabyte gaming version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers at the time of recording this video, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power Up's GPU-Z. It has 11 gigs of GDDR5X memory, and it released back in 2017. And over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 750 800X 3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM to avoid CPU bottlenecks. Let's get into it, shall we? First of all, let's go over the settings. I'm playing at 1080p resolution using TAA on high at the moment. We can't disable TAA, unfortunately, and the image is actually quite soft. But we're also going to utilize some FSR2 in this video, which should make it look a little bit crispier, although more pixelated at the same time. FOV set to maximum. These are the settings right here, and we're using the recommended preset for the 1080 Ti, which is high settings. If I run the benchmark over here, it just gives us high settings preset, which I find really weird because the 3060 Ti is a more capable card than this, and it defaulted to medium settings. What? I guess that's because the game takes a look at what amount of VRAM you have and chooses the settings accordingly. So yeah, we have 11 gigabytes of VRAM here with 1080 Ti and 8 on the 3060 Ti. Oh, yeah, my gear slots are still full, god damn it. So yeah, it might think that the 1080 Ti is stronger, or maybe it knows that the game utilizes more than 8 gigabytes of VRAM at high settings. I certainly was VRAM maxed out with the 3060 Ti at high settings, even at 1080p. The 3060 Ti still provided a pretty decent experience, even with the 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Oh boy, I'm starting to stutter a little bit. Myself, actually, not the game, which is very interesting. Yeah, I'm not really... Okay, we got a little stutter right there, but that was the first one of the day. I also got the 300 megabyte patch today, so that might have improved something stability-wise. But yeah, as we run through here, I can see a lot of micro stuttering issues still. Yeah, there we go. So it's just because we aren't really rendering in any new areas or new objects in the screen. So let's fight these guys over here. The experience on the 1080 Ti seems to be really good still, guys. And a very few amount of people were telling me that we should just move on and forget about Pascal because it's just old and it's not capable of playing newer titles with good FPS. Well, guess what? This is a newer title. It looks really good still. It stutters a lot, yeah, but even on like a 4090 it stutters, so there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the game itself. And we are achieving the perfect frame rate on average at the moment. 69 FPS on a 1080 Ti, my friends. This is absolutely fantastic for a GPU like this. Again, if you are running a 1080p monitor with a card like this, which I know a lot of people are, it's going to be a great experience. Again, stuttering issues are going to be there, but that's just the norm these days with every single release, unfortunately. Also, I've seen a lot of drops near waterfalls like this one. Whenever there's running water on screen, it seems to be pretty intensive, but you know, it's not really that intensive here. I'm impressed, guys. It is very playable at 1080p high settings. It does drop from 60 sometimes, yeah, but for a single-player title, I wouldn't really mind that whatsoever. Again, I played like 3 hours on a 1050 Ti with a few drops into the 20s, and I still enjoyed my time and my experience with it. Let's do FSR2 now on quality. Gonna bump up that sharpness a little bit. Here we go. Much higher FPS. Instead of like 60s and 70s, we're now even up into the 90s. Probably 100s in some areas. Wow, that is an insane boost in FPS for almost the same visuals. Again, it's slightly more pixelated, but it's also slightly sharper at the same time. So a lot of people might actually prefer this. Oh yeah, we can actually sell things here, guys. I went to sell my gear so we can actually loot things. Oh, I'm just noticing now that we have a few things that are better than what we're wearing. So we can finally upgrade our clothes. Yay! Oh, look at this. We're gonna have a little hat. That's beautiful. Still can't upgrade my ugly face mask though, so we're gonna stick with it. But let's go. Oh yes, that's much better. It hides it a little bit, you know, sometimes with a shadow. Great stuff. All right, look at this. Kind of looking a little bit more like a wizard this time around. Let's start counting our FPS again using FSR 2. I really want to see some effects up close, but these spiders aren't doing anything. Look at this. They're just dying with their own spells because I protect myself. Oh boy. Okay, let's just ignite this one on fire. Oh, that's screeching though. It kind of feels bad actually to hurt the spiders like that. They don't deserve it. Actually, in real life, guys, do not kill spiders. They're very good for the environment. Oh, that looked like a flying bush, but no, it's just a branch. But yeah, they're very good for the environment.
You should definitely kill spiders.
What? No! No! Alright, it's almost nighttime, so we should probably utilize this Lumos thing to see some beautiful shadows here. Look at that. Can you see the shadow casting on the tree? That is beautiful, guys. The shadows in this game are very impressive indeed. And during the nighttime, you can expect around like a 10 FPS drop if you're running around with your wand like this, because of those extra shadows that are being cast in this game. It's really, really intensive. But, you know, with FSR 2, it is not a problem. It runs very well. Whoa, what the hell? Okay. Oh, this is the troll swamp. This is also a pretty intensive area that I found in this game, dropping into the lower 80s at times. Hi dude, how's it going, buddy? I'm not gonna fight you, you know. Oh boy, you're a very strong bastard, aren't you? Where did you throw this thing? Why? These are friendly frogs. We shouldn't really hurt them, you know. Anyway, oh, just so you can see the difference, we're getting 104 frames per second, and I turned this on and we're getting 97, so almost a 10 FPS difference here, and in some scenarios it is gonna be a 10 FPS difference. By the way, we just got the beautiful 1% lows again. 69. What is it with the 1080 Ti and 69? Did the developers know? Is this why they recommended this GPU for the recommended requirement GPU in this game? Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's not 69 anymore, but yeah, that's impressive. It's impressive from the 1080 Ti. I like the experience. I could definitely recommend it. And if you have a card like this, you will have a ton of fun in this game. As you can see, this area is a lot more intensive, actually, than the one back there. It's dropping into the lower 70s, but not a problem. So now we're playing at 1440p using TAA on low, because on high you lose like 7 frames per second. That's quite considerable, and it looks soft anyways, so yeah. FSR is turned off at the moment, and we're using the recommended high settings again. Getting 60s. See, if TAA was on high instead of low, we would get like 50s. Higher 50s instead of mid 60s. So it's a considerable difference, and I think you should probably utilize it on low if you're playing at native 1440p. We found Jack for the first time here. Look at him, my friends. Very beautiful boy. Oh yes, kind of not really that beautiful because he's so stretched out, and it's probably a real person. You know, because they actually can transform into animals. Oh boy, it's dropping into the lower 50s now. Look at that. Yeah, even higher 40s around this area with a lot of water. So water is also a little bit intensive in this game. Lumos. Oh, now we can actually take a better look at those beautiful looking shadows. Like, look at that. That's super impressive. Very realistic. I really like the shadow quality in this game. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, especially on high settings and ultra settings as well. And you know what the good thing is? On ultra, it doesn't look that different from high. It's also super intensive compared to high. But if you want that visual fidelity experience, high settings is definitely the way to go here, at least with the 1080 Ti. I would just save ultra settings for the ultra high-end GPUs like 4070 Ti and better, or 3080 Ti and better. There's no need to play on ultra with like 3060 Ti's and stuff like that. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of a fight next. Ooh, dropping so much over here with the vegetation as well. All right, let's go. do a huge spell. It's not really that huge of a spell anyway. Let's use the fire things. Expelliarmus! Come on. Oh, it did it to this one instead of the other one. Oh, he's dead. Okay, well, we just cleared everything here. Interesting. Very cozy around here as well. The shadows are looking great. Although they don't really move, I would like to see them move in this scenario, but you know, it's just nitpicking. Whatever, right? Let's continue. Oh boy, dropping into the 40s, as you can see. Also, I'm not testing Hogwarts here because that's more of a CPU bound scenario anyways. We usually get more FPS in Hogwarts than in these forest areas, especially the ones with a lot of water around, like the swamp. But speaking of Hogwarts, I'm just gonna show it to you instead of just telling you, right? Here we are, getting 70 frames per second, 60s, slightly higher than what we were seeing. Actually considerably higher, right? Because we were seeing 50s and 40s at times. This area right here is the most intensive one in Hogwarts, and it can drop a lot, as you can see. It also stutters a heck of a lot. This is why people say that Hogwarts is the most intensive area, because it's really inconsistent. There are areas where it drops to the same values as the forest, and there are areas where it runs really well, you know. Let's go ahead now and play with the FSR on quality and 1440p resolution. Okay, it can start looking a bit over sharpened, especially at these values at 1080p resolution. But here at 1440p it looks really good at 0.48 sharpness, so I actually recommend that with FSR2. And now we should be comfortably above 60 frames per second, even in the most intensive scenarios. I'm going to start counting the FPS right here and make our way to the other really intensive area here in Hogwarts. Now, there aren't really many people running around here. Also, GPU utilization fluctuates a lot in these areas just because of the stuttering issues and that frame time inconsistency. 54 1% lows, and it doesn't even drop from like 70 or 80 anyways. But here we go. More intensive area. Yeah, we should do this as well, by the way. This is like most intensive stuff right here. Yeah, 50s. It still drops from 60 FPS. If you have an overclocked version of the card that can actually hit like 2000 megahertz or something, you should be getting 60 plus even in these super demanding scenarios. So that's pretty good to see. 1080 Ti is definitely still alive and kicking, even in one of the most intensive games out there. I mean, at least at 4K Ultra settings, this was getting around the same FPS on my 4070 Ti as it did on Cyberpunk. So this is definitely super demanding. Let's start counting the FPS right here now. Right around 69 once again, just lower, a little bit lower than that. Let's use this as well at the same time, so it drops FPS even further. And let's venture into this forest right here. Okay, dropping slightly there from 60. But again, a little bit of an overclock will offset that and make it even smoother. Yeah, it's starting to stutter a little bit more because we are rendering this area for the first time in this video. Can I destroy this thing? Thank you. Come on, more. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've been here already, I think. Let's collect things, destroy this thing, and you know what? This time around, I am not afraid. I am gonna go down here. Look at all of that shadow detail. Damn, it kind of looks like ray-traced shadows in a way, honestly. Really nice stuff. I'm also gonna... I'm stuck! I'm stuck inside of this thing now! No! What am I hearing? Oh boy, there are things! There are things that can kill us! Come on! Come on, get out! Get out! I want to get out of here! Can I do, like, stealth things? Stealth things. No, it doesn't work. My magic doesn't work. Can you kill me, then? I'd like to get out. It's magic, my friends. You never know how magic is gonna behave. So there we go. I can't even go into the menu now. Are you serious? I'll need to restart the game. Okay, since we needed to restart the game, I set it to 4K now with TAA on low, no upscaling, and still using the high settings. Ah, nice, we're out of here now. Oh, we can loot this. Oh, this is nice. Oh, all of this for a crappy little hat. That's terrible. Oh, it's dropping a lot. Oh, it's cinematic experience, my friends. Cinematic. Very nice. Well, it's honestly decent for screenshots and stuff like that, but it is. For actually playing the game, it is terrible. It's mostly below 30 frames per second in where it matters. So let's use some FSR2. This should work quite well. It's on quality, so this should look really similar to native resolution, and indeed it does. A bit noisier in some areas and sometimes pixelated, but I mean, I am using a 4K monitor here, and it looks pretty good like this. Would I play like this instead of 1440p? No, not really. If you're looking for that detail, I think 1440p is the sweet spot, definitely. But hey, not gonna lie, I was not expecting 40 FPS in this area with the 1080 Ti. This is very, very impressive. It gets a ton of more stuttering issues and micro stutters, so I really wouldn't do this. But it is impressive nonetheless. Oh boy, look at that drop there. Jesus. Yeah, kind of terrible, but not so terrible in a way. If they manage to fix the stuttering issues, which again, they probably won't, it will actually become a playable experience here at high settings and 4K resolution with a 1080 Ti. And you know, if you really want 4K, it should be playable on medium settings. You know what? I don't think it's needed to restart the game to apply settings. I've actually tried this, and I'm gonna test it out here, okay? Medium. You only need to restart for the ray tracing to apply. Okay, now it's loading in everything, as you can see. Yeah, and it's getting 50 FPS. Is it smoother, though? Will it consume way less VRAM and therefore be a little bit smoother than high settings? Because I think on high settings, it starts like saturating that 11 gigabyte frame buffer here on the 1080 Ti. Probably. At least I've seen a lot more VRAM usage at 4K Ultra with the 4080 than 11 gigs. I think it was using like 12 or 13 or something like that. Yeah, the stutters are still there though at 4K. You can see a ton of little spikes. Those weren't really as present at 1440p and 1080p, so this is definitely a card that you should utilize for those lower resolutions. But if you don't mind playing on medium with a little bit of stuttering and 4K resolution, this is pretty good. It's very impressive. This card just never ceases to amaze me. Aside from Enforce Broken, but that's just the game's fault anyway. Let's try it out at 4K native medium settings. And oh boy, no, it's still, yep, it's still pretty terrible sometimes, I think. Get out of here. Get out of here. Crispy Potter, come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, it will definitely drop here and there from 30 FPS still at native res, even on medium. So if you want 4K, enable FSR and it's gonna work, kind of. Now, lastly, guys, we just gotta check it out since they allow us to enable ray tracing in this game. I set it to 1080p using the low settings, okay? Everything is set to low here, but ray tracing is enabled and on ultra. Ha! What a beautiful morning in Hogwarts Legacy now. Oh, yes. Perfect. Absolutely fantastic experience. Well, at least we can see how ray tracing looks like, and you know, I don't see any difference whatsoever. So why are we getting 17 or, oh my god, 9 FPS minimum? Well, I don't know. High settings looked infinitely better than low with ray tracing, and it worked really damn well. So this is just stupid, obviously. Nobody should play with ray tracing with a GTX card, even if the game allows you to do that. And yeah, it shows right here. It's terrible. In some areas, it can actually get like 20s, though. So that's pretty impressive. Can we? Yeah, let's do this. Ooh, instantly drops so much. Oh, damn. Eee! Okay. Let's take a look at the shadows. Wait. Are there no shadows now? Is it because it's daytime now? I don't know. Nope. Nope. Oh boy, single digits at times. Yep. That's been it for this video, my friends. Thank you very much for watching it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to see more weird experiments like this. And I will catch you in the next one very soon. Hopefully. It's gonna be a Sunday video, by the way. Yeah, I still don't know how I'm gonna have time to edit all of that, but I'll try. Be back soon tomorrow. Love you all. Bye-bye.